Hi guys, have you ever wondered why it's so hard to break a bad habit? Maybe you tell yourself, I'm never eating junk food again, or you promise that's the last cigarette, or you decide I won't scroll my phone in bed tonight, and yet a few hours later you find yourself doing the exact same thing. It feels frustrating, right? But here's the truth, it's not because you are weak or lazy, it's because of how your brain is wired. Today, let's explore why habits form, why willpower easily fails, and how mindfulness of and curiosity can actually free you from bad habits. Habits are breakthrough, what's called the habit loop. It has three simple steps. First, one, trigger something that sets the habit in motion. It could be stress, boredom, loneliness, or even just walking into the kitchen. 2. Behavior. The action you take like smoking, snacking, or checking social media. 3. Reward. The feeling you get may be comfort, relief, pleasure, or distraction. Let me give you an example. Imagine you feel stressed after a long day. That's the trigger. You open a bag of chips and start eating. That's the behavior. For a moment, you feel calm. You feel calmer. That's the reward. The brain learns very quickly. Stress plus chips relief equal to relief. So the next time stress shows up, your brain says, hey, remember chips will help. Repeat this loop enough times and the behavior becomes automatic. You don't even think about it anymore, you just do it. Now, most people think the solution is willpower. I just need to be stronger. I just need more self-control. But here's the catch. Willpower does not always show up when we need it most. There's a part of our brain called the prefrontal cortex. That's the logical decision-making part, the ones that says, don't eat that, don't smoke that, don't scroll. But under stress, this part of the brain actually shuts down. So imagine you are exhausted after a long day and still hit. The very tool you need to resist your craving is offline. That's why you relapse. That's why you relapse. That's why habits feel so unbreakable. It's not that you don't care. It's not willpower alone. It's that willpower alone is not enough. Mindfulness and curiosity. So, so if willpower is not the answer, then what's it? Here's where Dr. Jason Brewer suggests something surprisingly simple: mindfulness and curiosity. Instead of fighting cravings, pay attention to them. Be curious. Take smoking, for example. Instead of forcing yourself not to smoke, try smoking mindfully. Notice the smell, notice the taste. One of Dr. Brewer's patients described cigarettes as tasting like stinky cheese and chemicals. Another said, wow, this is actually disgusting. The awareness is powerful because when your brain really sees what the habit is, not just remembers the pleasure but experiences the unpleasant reality, it starts to lose interest. This is what we call disenchantment. And it does not just apply to smoking. Maybe you are just eating. Try eating slowly and mindfully. Notice the texture, the aftertaste, how your body feels after that third cookie. You might realize, this does not actually feel that good. Here's the magic: curiosity itself become a reward. When you are curious, what does this craving feel like? Where do I notice it in my body? Your brain gets interest in the process. You are not running away from the craving. You are turning toward it. And in doing so, you are teaching your brain a new healthier loop. Trigger to curiosity to awareness. Now, this is not just an idea. There is science behind it. In clinical studies, people who practice mindfulness training were twice as successful at quitting smoking compared to people using standard therapy. And brain scans show something fascinating. The areas of the brain that normally light up with cravings, like the posterior cingulate cortex, actually quieted down with mindfulness. In other words, curiosity and awareness don't just feel nice, they literally change your brain. So, how can you try this in your own life? Let's say you get the urge to check your phone while studying. Instead of immediately grabbing it or scolding yourself, pause. Take a breath, take a breath, take a breath and notice the urge. Where do you feel it? Maybe a tightness in your chest, maybe restlessness in your hands. Just get curious. The more you observe, the less control the urge have over you. So let's wrap this up. Habits formed through a load, trigger, behavior, reward. Willpower fails because our brains don't work well under stress, but mindfulness and curiosity give us another way. The next time you feel a craving to smoke, to snack, to school, don't fight it and don't shame yourself. Instead, pause and get curious. Ask, what does this really feel like? Is it as good as my brain says it is? Over time, that simple act of curiosity loosens the grip of the habit. And that's how you let curiosity, not force, just set you free. Okay? Thank you for listening. Bye.